nothing happening around these parts. Welcome into the Take It 2. I'm Marina Morocco, 2 o'clock on the dot, and boy, do we have a lot of news to get to. So let's get it started. Let's welcome in our Autumn Joy here to give us all her hot takes and everybody. Come on in, girl. Okay.
Hey, you see my
radio host and Fox 5 contributor Autumn. How are you, girl?
I'm good. I've never done that walk-in, so I was really excited to do that.
Yeah, because usually you're stranded up in the balcony and then you get stuck up there with your takes. No, I'm just kidding. But this time it's for the boys. Let's go up there to in-game host who just launched his new series, Stand Out with Kyle. Kyle on the mic, okay? And joining us for the first time here on the Take It 2 on the perfect day for a Commanders superfan, Tailgate Ted. Ted, come on down and join us here on the desk. All right, today is the day because y'all hear what's going on?
Yes. Oh, how can we not? It's everywhere, girl.
A lot of people talking.
A couple things going on.
Yeah, not a lot going on. Okay, Ted and Autumn are with me, but of course, as you know, at any point, somebody says something crazy and they may be taking a hike. But also, this is your show. Call us, 202-895-3200. That's our hotline. Anything you want to talk about, rant, rave, you know it. It's a lot of Commanders today, so please give us your hot takes on all things Commanders we'll be discussing throughout the show. And start things off with the big story. The Commanders, they're coming home. That's right, the team will be playing once again at the old RFK Stadium. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser making the big announcement this morning alongside the owner of the team, the NFL commissioner, and here is some of what they had to say.
So I want to start by saying, welcome home. Let's give our Commanders a big Washington, D.C. welcome.
We're excited to continue working with the council, the mayor, and the D.C. leadership in this community to shape the next chapter of RFK. RFK was the site of some of my earliest and most meaningful memories. I hope that many others will be able to create incredible memories of their own for generations to come. The future is very, very bright.
Here in the district, there will be billions of dollars invested in this area and economic activity that lifts up the city and generates jobs throughout the region. The NFL has a long history of investing in stadiums projects along with the home team, but all 31 teams will contribute along with Josh and his partners. This is an important project that the league recognizes, and we will be there to support.
It almost sounded like Mayor Bowser was the only one that drank coffee in the morning. All right, let me give you some of the key takeaways from the proposed $3 billion deal. The approximately 65,000-seat domed stadium, I should say, expected to open in 2030. It will occupy only 11% of the site, and that is because the stadium will have a roof, and it'll be able to host events year-round. The Commanders will also be responsible for developing multiple parcels of land around the stadium, and that means restaurants, entertainment, hotels, housing, green space, and more. Now, over the span of several years, D.C. investment will be over $1 billion. So, Ted, we got to go to you on this one. Your take on the deal.
I need to know more. I need to know, okay, the Commanders are investing $2+ billion on it. How much of that's getting redirected down to the fans? They already mentioned personal seat licenses. So you mean to tell me I've got to spend tens of thousands of dollars just to have the right to buy a seat? Don't act like ownership is paying for this. We, the fans, are actually going to be the ones paying for this, and how much is it actually going to cost us?
Okay, so you're expecting, if you want season tickets here, that it's going to cost a pretty penny, then, is what you're telling me?
Oh, definitely. Buffalo's got the newest stadium coming up.
Yeah.
Their lower-level season tickets, the rumor is the PSLs, it's an extra $10,000 per seat just to have the right to buy the seat.
And then you add to that the season.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it's a 30-year lease.
This is like a social club, which we're going to talk about in a second here. But I think you're right. I think that it is, it's beautiful. They put a bow on it to say, right? And I think a lot of people have wanted this stadium back in D.C., but it's all about the numbers. And right now, the city looking to put close to $1 billion. The council has said they don't want to put a single dollar to it. So this is going to be a big fight between the mayor and the council here.
Yeah, absolutely. And really quickly, kudos to Mayor Bowser, her glam squad. Oh, she looked amazing. But I will say this. Maryland, don't get your hopes down just yet, because to your point, the council still has to vote on this. And the residents of D.C. already said they don't want this stadium to be rebuilt. They don't want all this additional traffic and all these additional houses to go up. So I do think that we need to just kind of pause for a second. To my friend's point here, where is that money going? Who's going to be responsible for this seat insurance or whatever it is that you said? I do think that that money should be reinvested back into FedEx Field. There's areas right across the street, as a matter of fact, where Landover Mall used to be.
Yeah.
We could turn that into that 90-foot square, whatever shopping center that they were talking about. I don't think that this is something that we necessarily need to do.
Okay, let's ask the superfan, would you like to stay in Landover?
No. As a DC
See, but
resident.
this is the thing, is like, oh, you can't have it both ways, right?
No, I can't have, but as a DC resident, imagine the money that's going to bring to the city. We've got a budget shortfall right now because of what Congress did to us. But imagine all the revenue that's going to come. Roger Goodell was asked, are we going to host a Super Bowl? He pretty much said yes.
With a dome, you have to. Yeah.
And it closes.
You're talking Final Fours. You're talking, you know, Beyonce coming here to D.C. instead of FedEx Field or Northwest Stadium.
So your pick, regardless, you think that still things need to happen, but you think it needs to come to D.C.?
I think it needs to come to D.C. just because we can have so many more events here. The fact that the Taylor Swift concert, closest place it went to was Philadelphia, was a crime. We're the nation's capital. We should be hosting events. So just as a D.C. resident, as just a resident of the city and a fan of the team, we need to bring it back home, not just because of sports, but because of everything else it can do for our city.
Okay, really quickly, let's go to get the Maryland born and raised take before we go. Kyle, what do you think?
Oh, no, I agree with what you all said. I mean, I love it being in Landover. I think it's going to bring a lot of revenue right here to Landover and keep the vibes going, like you said, the shopping centers and things like that around there. Let's rebuild around down and uplift that as well, because there's a lot of vacant spots that we need to use. They're turning into townhomes, shopping centers. But we need this to go ahead and bring back the things that we loved, and that was just the things that we like to do and go out and enjoy while going to a Commanders game. Now, I understand, want to put it back in D.C. because when artists come, when people come and say, D.C., we're in Landover, it is kind of like an iffy type of thing. But like you said, sometimes you can't have your cake and eat it too. I think moving it to D.C. is great, especially as the accomplishments they made last year. Why not go ahead and do that during this hypeness time? But unfortunately, if it's going to affect the fans and the budgeting of going to a game and actually enjoying it, then that's where it's kind of like a mix-up right there.
Yeah. All right, let's check that Fox5 Live Insta poll. Do you like the new Commanders Stadium being built in D.C.? We're keeping it easy. Yes, no, or maybe move it somewhere else. Okay, you're pretty split here between Maryland and D.C., although by slight percentage points saying yes to D.C. Let's keep scanning QR code there, fox5dc.com/Instapoll. We'll keep checking in. We know it's a hot button issue for many reasons, not just because of geography, but especially because of the dollar signs. Who's paying for what?
Yeah.
Let's move on now.